So I get super angry, like annoyed at evil. Any small, tiny error in logic or reason or manipulation or bullshitting or gossiping or I suppose there's reasons for gossiping, but like the and then there's like really picking my face. Oh my god, coping mechanism. Um, totally nervous. A little bit. No, I just suck at talking, or I'm just unconfident. Anyways, like psychopaths, sociopaths, and narcissists, and like just people who don't care about the truth, being logical, and paying attention to reality. Like it's like I have things like I'll get angry at objects if like say a pill falls on the ground. It's like I get very angry at that, and that's sort of illogical, I suppose. Um, but I'm angry at what I didn't want to happen or something in that case. I don't really notice. I wouldn't know. Maybe I'm not self aware enough. I guess I would know. I don't generally like personally. I don't do anything like wrong besides like overindulging or neglecting responsibilities. Um, so just like weed, gummies, kratom, um, perhaps like using the phone too much, and yeah, and I live my life um, doing the straight and narrow as best as possibly I can because like there's like inefficiencies or something like stupidities more of less of the not the diabolical shit but I don't know like I just look at the world and it's like what a stupid evil world even though it's better than it's ever been. There's tons of humane and wonderful people who are trying to do the best for the best and aren't just trying to battle it out and domineer and like feed their ego. Um, and it's it's annoying. Like the darkness of the world. Like just I'm so fixated on and I experience I grew up with like I guess a normal enough family, but thinking about it like little details like total sociopaths actually as far as like handling anything like completely narcissistic and unwilling to ever consider that they are flawed in some way and have never gone through like sitting down and like questioning. It's pretty easy if you leave them alone. They just like they live their lives and such. But I don't know. It's relatively simple lives. But people that never sit down and reflect and like these are my flaws. These are my strengths. This and understand themselves and make improvements like find problems fix them solve them instead of just like distracting from these things that are important problems important flaws like things that matter like maybe more than anything else because you have control over your character and you don't really have control over the external world to the degree that yes you can master things you can become great and you can become knowledgeable and sometimes you can attend to things in the external world but ultimately like there are things that you will never be able to affect or do something about Um, and I just I'm lucky to have the friends that I have. They haven't seemed to have done anything like that. Perhaps I haven't been close to them enough, haven't had an argument, but like the friends that I have, they've been very polite. They've been um, no bullshit for the most part. It doesn't seem like it, and like I don't know, like I think I'm very like thinking about the people that I ever connected with. It's like I think there's a very like rare sort of um this is a dumbass trail from the main subject, but like I think I get along with people who are generally like conscientious and considerate, and like they're honest and truth seeking, and you know, people including me at some points, people in general, like there's a proclivity to lie and deceive oneself, and I think that's usually where like you start getting the workings of these dark triad Machiavellian things. um, People start like warping their perception of reality with avoidance tactics that don't serve a reasonable constitution and a set of scenarios that if the world were to suddenly become dangerous and challenging, they would likely fail in some way due to the, well, obviously it would involve people, and then the necessity to be trustworthy and able and strong and competent, and it's it's in some way it seems like it's always a weakness, and it's something like a short-term advantage that serves the moment, and then for the long term there's some sort of sacrifice. Like that's what one thing that's sort of describable of evil. It's impulsive, it's expedient, it's get satisfaction now or avoid pain now, and and like you're supposed to sacrifice the moment for the future, and then you're also supposed to think about the future, and if you think about the future you start realizing that like the future is connected to the past, and then there's a whole bunch of people around you, and like all these events that are going on, and like you have a great responsibility to, well, I don't know, maybe that's arbitrary, but I think if you maybe I think if you fully think about things, if you fully consider the all the relevant things of practical living and metaphysical whatever identification of how to think about the world properly, then you realize that like altruism and doing and responsibility are like maybe the best things, some of the best, like close to the best things that you can do. It's something like love for the universe. That's one conclusion. Love for all things. And then you lovingly sacrifice your time and your days and your your instant gratification in the modern world sense, most likely. Um, but you sacrifice the comfort. It can be comfortable. Sometimes you can be comfortable while working or whatever, and be doing something practical and useful and towards moving things forward, instead of just dead nothing, making things worse or whatever. Like moving forward and progressing forward. And that involves me in my life and then my society at a higher level, assuming that my society is anywhere even capable of some reasonable level of hope, or it's reasonable to hope for them in any reasonable way towards like the possible good. And you know, it's like, who knows, maybe like that's the thing. It's like maybe I've already failed, maybe you've already failed, maybe there's enough people that haven't like gone around and at least spoke the truth and spread morality and done and solved problems and taking positions of importance and helped out in many small ways, that it's like we're already on the downturn towards the darkness and inevitable downfall of any paradisal or successful living on the planet, if not the complete eradication and extinction of most of, well, at least human life or whatevs. And yeah,